Greetings everyone, I'm Igor the Second, and welcome to a video about more mobs. It's not going to be a development progress update. I swear those will be coming eventually. That's not what this is, and I know this title sounds a bit intimidating for the video, but I'll explain everything in detail. I also address the lack of videos in general is because first of all I got sick. I'm still kind of coughing a little, so it's not great, and I'm just really busy. I got busy because my semester started as well, but that doesn't mean I haven't been working on more mobs or anything else. If you're not on my Discord server yet, you really should join because that's the best place to get any and all updates on my projects and my life. So let's get into this. So this video will consist of 3 parts, and I'll address the changes that are coming to more mobs soon. I just want to say I don't know what the next version will be because Minecraft has changed the way they're making updates, and that really shook up the way I do updates to more mobs. So I might change my release strategy. So far, it's probably going to be either 4D or 5A. Everybody just wants to move on to new mobs, including me. But there are things that you need to do that might just be part of the next big update, or will just have to be a separate update, because those are big changes. So let's get into the changes themselves. And yeah, also I don't really know what the next version of Minecraft will be for more mobs. I might just probably skip to 1.19.4 or higher just because I want to use the new commands and stuff like that. So the number one thing I wanted to talk about is the split. The pack is splitting into 2 separate packs. The new pack is going to be called Mob Tweaks. I've been working on it for a while behind the scenes. It's a long task to split it. It was actually a lot more work than you might think. Mob Tweaks is for stuff that mostly goes to the illusioners and some recent changes in the snapshot 4C. Stuff like vanilla mobs spawning in different structures. Now, not all of these changes are leaving more mobs. For example, the Totem of Revival, Diamond Shards, the crafting recipe for the Trident, or with the skeletons spawning with bows. There are multiple reasons why. Well, it could be that specific balancing requires it in the case of other skeletons, because the regular skeletons are replaced with my mobs, so that's kind of a balance thing, or the fact that it's used through the crafting station, so I don't want to have to use a new crafter to make it for mod tweaks just for a couple recipes when I already have a crafter, or I just have plans for a future feature. Say that 100 times. So yeah, the split isn't going to change that much, except these like changes that don't necessarily fit into the more mobs overarching idea. And I think that's a good thing because it's relatively small. It has quality of life changes, and I can more easily update it because that pack does not rely on Optifine. I just think a lot more people will enjoy that pack because it has these miscellaneous features that kind of make improvements to vanilla mobs that I think are nice. And they don't have to go into this big game-changing pack that is more mobs to get these features anymore. Now there's the matter of the structures, which I will keep in more mobs, even though they don't necessarily fit. I do have plans to feature more mobs things in them, for example items and mobs. So I have been thinking of a data pack called more structures or something like that would add more structures. I have never really started working on that, and I might. But that's just something that I want you to know, that yes, things like the Totem of Revival or these structures don't really have to be in more mobs, but they are interconnected with other features to the point that I think it's worth keeping them here, even if they don't fit exactly the overarching theme. So yeah, Mob Tweaks is going to be its own thing. It's coming out sometime soon as a separate pack first, which will include lots of features that overlap with more mobs, but in the next more mobs version all of these changes will be removed, so those will be completely separate, but they will be compatible obviously. The next big change that I think is going to be received more poorly, but I want your feedback on this, tell me what do you think, is the format change. I'm renaming pretty much everything in the pack. The namespace is going to be changed from IMM to more mobs. In general, a lot of things are going to be way better. I have renamed all the scoreboards. I'm still renaming all the tags. Often when I just add a feature and it's finished and I just forget about it, I come back to the code and I have no idea what this even is because I always use abbreviations and strange tag syntaxes. It's kind of messy, though obviously I don't expect many people to go into the code and check for things. It's more intuitive that way and less messy, and it just helps me as well developing. Even if these tag names can get really long, overall it's better. So basically this version is going to be incompatible with all the previous versions, and not just for this reason but for other reasons as well, which I will go more in depth into the third major part of this video. Unfortunately, you will not be able to update your worlds to the new more mobs version. You can do that, but the mobs you have, if you tag them, you need them for something. They're not going to work. You're gonna lose all your advancements. Your items are all going to be useless. And yes, I did add convert items to the pack specifically for these kind of things. But everything is going to change. Literally everything. Every mob, the names, the item names, the advancement names, the subtitles, all the translation, everything is going to be renamed. So there's no real point in making the old version compatible where everything is going to be different. It's also going to be bad for performance, because if I check for every single mob, if it has the right name, because the name is different now, it's going to be just laggy and unnecessary, because I don't really think there are that many people who have a world that they play more mobs on consistently, considering how small the pack is at the moment. So yeah, if you have a world that you want to keep playing more mobs on, just use cheats to give yourself the items you have and the advancements. It's not really that big of a deal, I think. It's just better for the pack overall, especially for the future. These format changes are going to be really good, and it's going to establish a good syntax for everything and be more understandable. I've also changed a lot of the files. I've moved them. For example, the resource pack, everything was in the Minecraft folder. Now I have a separate more mobs folder where all the assets are, the translations, the sounds and stuff like that. It's much better, because before you had, for example, /play sound, Minecraft : IMM dot, and that you would just pick the sound you need from more mobs. Now you can just go more mobs : and then you can get to the sounds. So overall, this is way better than it was. Removing some clutter for the files as well. There were tons of unused files and like paint.net files that I just left in the resource pack and stuff like that, also in the functions. There's a lot of stuff that was just unused and I left it there. I'm also removing lots of that, so just reorganizing everything, renaming everything, so it's not going to be compatible, unfortunately. Also, remember, some of the stuff is moving from more mobs to mob tweaks, and there's also some stuff that I'm going to mention next, but basically, yeah. So I hope you guys are not too upset over the fact that I don't think it's worth enough to make the compatibility. It's really not worth it, trust me. The pack is quite complex, so it's really not worth it in my opinion. Also, there's going to be compatibility with Smithed now, which is pretty good, I think. And yeah, let's just move on to the last part, which is hard to title. I would say it's reimagining. So I'm reimagining a lot of concepts from the pack, some items and mobs. I'm going to rename diamond shards to diamond splinters, because shards, you have stuff like amethyst and prismarine. It's not really like 1/9 of a bigger material, like what nuggets are for gold and iron. So I think the name Splinter makes more sense, and I got it from Between Lands, actually. I think that's cool. I'm changing what corrupted souls and demonic essence are. It's kind of a strange concept that I really never gave much thought about, is how do you even conceptualize a soul as a tangible object? And I've seen other packs and add-ons and mods do the same concept, like ectoplasm or soul essence or soul embers. Yeah, so it's kind of a strange concept to put in Minecraft. So I settled on something that I think is going to be much better and fit into Minecraft more, which I know that more mobs doesn't always fit into Minecraft. I don't want to limit myself to the point that I have to only do Minecraft-like things, because some things are going to be like, well, I don't think this can be in Minecraft. The Cyclops or the upcoming Lurker mob, which is really scary. I don't think Mojang would ever do that kind of thing, but most of the time, I try to make my features work with the rest of the game, so I think this is a positive change. Corrupted souls will become corrupted hearts, and demonic essence will become fiendish brains. And also, I'm going to be renaming a lot of mobs. 5 of the 20 mobs, 25%, have been renamed. Dragon Ghost became Ender Jaculus, Ender Sentinel became just Sentinel, Demons became Reprobates, Watchers became Gazers, and Prisoner Ghosts have become Urks. These are much better names, they're more creative, they're more unique, they fit the mob better, they are probably less religiously offensive, considering stuff like Prisoner Ghosts and Demons. Initially I thought, not a big deal, but now I know better that, yeah, you probably shouldn't go into the territory of these like religious things that can overlap with real life beliefs. Overall, I think those are great changes. This also opens up some opportunities, because before, Ender Sentinels were supposed to be Ender mobs, and I was going to add Nether Sentinels, but now that I've renamed them to just Sentinels, I can just reuse that mob, and I don't have to add a new extra pretty redundant mob just to serve the same function, basically. And overall, I've seen a lot of packs and mods and add-ons that just have the same thing that in my pack, and I want to make sure that I have unique creatures and designs. It doesn't mean I'm never gonna add any real-life animals or common ideas. It just means that I'm going to be avoiding these kind of things. And I think it just kind of sucks when you have things like you have a mod that adds camels, but then Mojang adds camels, and it's kind of messes that up because their camels are probably better, and you have to remove that mob that you spend so much effort on, because why, when you already have one in vanilla? So I want to avoid situations like this as well. I also want to avoid adding stuff from the rest of the Minecraft universe, like Minecraft dungeons or whatever, because these mobs are not just redundant, they also have been done a million times, and Mojang can add them at any point. So if I spend my effort on that and it just becomes a waste of my time, I would rather give you something much more interesting and creative instead of these redundant ideas. Yeah, the new names have improved the previous mobs as well. For example, the Dragon Ghost, kind of too ambiguous. This whole spiritual thing that doesn't really work too well. In Minecraft at least, it's a little bit mystical. I delve into it a bit in this pack. I'm toning it down to, I think, something that fits better with the rest of the game. And, you know, now we have Urks. Those are more interesting because before you had the name Prisoner Ghost, and you're like, oh, that's what that is. It's a Prisoner Ghost, and there's nothing else to it. But when you have the mob called Urk, and you look at the texture and behavior and properties, you can make your own theories, and it adds mysteries to the world that I think are much more compelling than having something that's in your face obvious. And also, we're texturing some of our existing mobs, and not just like improving the texture, but really changing it. So far, check out the new F-Ray and Flaming Tarantula textures. I think those look way better, and there's cool concepts within them that we're going to expand on. I also reimagined the Hunch a lot. In the upcoming version, it's going to be really different. You know, it's just going to be a change. We're still in alpha, so things like that honestly don't bother me too much. You know, change is part of life, and adaptation, I think, is preferential to stagnation and this like obsessive conservatism where nothing can change. No, I want to make sure that, you know, my pack is keeping up with the times, I guess, and just improving overall. Big changes like that are expected whilst we're still in development. So that's kind of the third big change coming to more mobs soon. And yeah, so this video is kind of long and rambly, but I really just wanted to talk sincerely about this and not have to write a long script. I hope you're excited for the new more mobs changes. I know I've been teasing like the new textures and stuff like that and this on Discord. It's good to just put this in the video. And yes, announcing new data pack. Really cool mob tweaks coming sometime soon. I don't know exactly when. Pack is almost finished. More mobs versions, updates coming eventually. I don't know when, I don't know exactly what it's gonna be called. Either 4D with all these changes I mentioned, or 5A with that plus new mobs. I'm not sure which one I'm gonna pick first, but you know, it's that Mojang new release strategy is really messing up with more mobs because you have a mob point 19.3, the resource pack updated, and the new X model broke some of my mobs, and then you have 1.19.4, which already, it's not even out yet, has updated the datapack format to a new version, which is so annoying, might I add. You know, that's kind of what I have to deal with because I decided to keep up with Minecraft updates. I think it's overall much better for the pack to be updated with the game itself. Is this probably a topic for a different video? I'm also going to be making new development progress update videos coming your way eventually when I get to it. I'm really busy, like I said. Honestly, I should be doing homework right now, but I'm doing this video just because I really wanted to make something and let you know about all these changes. So I hope you're excited like me because a lot of cool things are coming to more mobs. Thanks to these interesting kind of radical changes, there's going to be new items that I haven't even ever mentioned yet. You know, all of these changes are overall an improvement to the pack. Don't forget to join the server because all the updates are there first, and small teases and stuff like that that I don't post anywhere else. And yeah, as always, stay.